Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Josh Donaldson is heating up for the Blue Jays, blasting 7 home runs over his last 13 games. And tonight, lefty Blake Snell has the task of taming the Toronto offense and get the Rays back on the winning track. We greet you from the northern shore of Lake Ontario at Rogers Center. The Tampa Bay Rays meeting the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Alex Cordery will be with us throughout the evening as well. Rays have had a tough time, as you know, and they're facing a hot Toronto Blue Jay ball club, particularly Josh Donaldson, their third baseman. 8 home runs in his last 16 games, and the Rays will send the left-hander Blake Snell to the mound, trying to cool him off a bit.
Listen, here we are playing the Toronto Blue Jays, and we're talking about a very hot Josh Donaldson. I mean, what else is new? This guy seems to be hot every time the Rays come into town. And if you go back to July the 31st, the last 13 games, of course he had the big home run in last night's game that would provide all the offense that the Blue Jays would need. But the last 13 games, look what he's done. 10 extra base hits, 3 doubles, 7 home runs, 17 driven in. And as you can see from all these different highlights, he is using the entire field. The home run last night to right field, that double down the line into the corner, down the left field line. Blake Snell, on the other hand, listen, his last time out, we saw him be able to maintain that quicker tempo. And on top of that, he combined it with the best fastball that he has had all season long. Used it about 65% of the time and was very good with it in the zone. And guess what? That made his secondary pitches even more dangerous, and he put together a solid outing and a look to keep it rolling here again tonight.
Well, Marco Estrada will be pitching for the Blue Jays. He's pitched better recently, but the Rays have solved him to the tune of 0-3 in his 3 starts against the Rays this year, and an earned run average of over 10. Blake Snell 0-1 against this Toronto ball club. Rays trying to find the winning combination here in game 2 of this series. We'll be back with the first pitch in just a moment. From Toronto, the Rays and the Blue Jays square off in Game 2 of this series. Rays 6-7 against Toronto this year. And when we take a look at the wild card race, it is crowded all the way down to the Blue Jays, 3.5 back. The Rays are 2.5 off the pace. All those teams scrambling to find a spot in the postseason. New York up by 2. The Angels right now holding the second wild card spot. 9 teams in all battling to get 2 spots on the wild card to the postseason. Let's take a quick look at the starting lineup for the Rays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Corey Dickerson's going to lead it off for the Rays in left, followed by Lucas Duda at first and Evan Longoria at third. Logan Morrison DHing again tonight, hitting in front of Steven Souza Jr. Malik Smith will be up in the number 6 spot in center field, followed by Wilson Ramos. And Andy Echeverria returns to the lineup at short, and getting another start tonight, Daniel Robertson. He played short last night. He'll be at second base tonight. And Marco Estrada making his 25th appearance. All of them starts with a record of 5-7 and a .485 earned run average. Coming off a 9-9 season a year ago, and this has been a challenge for him this season.
Let's take a look at the Blue Jay defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Steve Pearce, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Bautista. Across the infield third to first, Josh Donaldson, Darwin Barney, Rob Refsnyder, and Justin Smoke. Mike Ullman behind the plate.
Estrada 50 wins, 50 losses in his career, and the Rays have handed him 3 losses this year, 5-2, 5-1, and 6-0. They pretty much had their way with him. So we'll see how it all works out tonight with Corey Dickerson stepping in to lead it off. First pitch is foul back. Fastball, strike 1. The Rays out to snap what has been an offensive blackout for them. Last night held a 1-run, 4 hits, and dropping a 2-1 decision. It's left everybody mystified, including their manager Kevin Cash. 0-2. Well, missed the pitch up.
If it was ever set up for this offense to break out, you got to believe, with Marco Estrada on the mound, the damage that they've done against him this season, and really if you go back his last 6 starts, they've all been losses to this Rays lineup. So it is set up for you to get something done.
There's a line drive, and it's caught. A leaping grab by Refsnyder. Dickerson trying to get it over the head of the second baseman, and he would not allow it.
Now Rob Refsnyder has a little bit of range. Tall, lanky out there at second base, and used it to his full advantage right there to record the first out.
Backhanded leaping grab by the Blue Jays second baseman. Now here's Lucas Duda. That's a strike on the inside corner.
That's the big one. That's the big pitch that you've got to keep your eyes on all night long. The changeup by Estrada. He will throw it at any time. First pitch, when he's ahead, when he's behind with 2 strikes.
And he'll throw it to left-handed and right-handed hitters. That's the pitch for him.
He'll also mix in. He's got the cutter and a curveball, but yeah, it's the fastball changeup do the bulk of the work.
This one, one hopper, and the long throw from the left side will get Duda. Well, they had the shift on with Barney on the right side, leaving Donaldson alone on the left side, and Donaldson made the play.
Well, this is what he's done against the Rays. You remember in 2015, he was absolutely dominant. I mean, those numbers speak for themselves. The opponent's average, 5 different games, a .65 earned run average, but then the Rays started to figure Marco Estrada out. And like I said, he has dropped his last 6 starts to this lineup.
At the Liberty Mutual player profile, Evan Longoria takes a strike. A line drive and a ground ball out. So the base is empty for Evan. Pitch is inside. "17 home runs for Longoria. Starting the night hitting .268. And there's a pitch foul back. Fastball upper part of the zone.
That's something that we have seen here during the course of this stretch where the Rays offense has struggled so mightily. A lot of elevated hitter pitches to a lot of the Rays hitters, and pitchers have had a ton of success up there.
This one down. He did not go, and the count is 2-2. And that's really a turnabout, because Rays pitchers have got opposing hitters out over the last 2 or 3 years, consistently up there. And now the Rays hitters are being victimized by the pitch up there. It's a liner into left center field. Good for a base hit. Pierce in to make the pickup. Longoria is aboard with a 2-out single. That will bring up Logan Morrison, and he has had a lot of good fortune against Marco Estrada.
How about that?
Career home runs off him, and 6 of 18.
Well, that's what you're looking for here. I mean, those balls that have been up in the zone, Morrison has been able to get to, because you can pitch up there and that's fine, but Estrada not a big velocity guy, so he has to be very good up in the zone or just beyond.
Starts him up and away out of the zone. Ball 1. Under it, and a high pop fly. Bautista in from right, makes the catch. Great, get a base runner, leave him. Bottom of the first coming, no score. Toronto, the lineup for the Blue Jays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. We'll have Jose Bautista leading off again. Josh Donaldson and Justin Smoke 1, 2, 3, followed by Kendrys Morales, the DH. And then Steve Pearce, Kevin Pillar hit 6th. Rep Snyder, Ullman, and Barney 7, 8, and 9.
Well, let's see what Blake Snell can do as far as building off of his last start. He answered the bell against the Cleveland Indians, pitched into the 7th inning, gave up just 1 earned run with 4 strikeouts. No decision in that ball game, but he did pick up a win, and he would like one of them for himself as he still sits winless at 0-6 through 15 starts.
Well, he faces Bautista, hitting .213, but with 20 home runs. And there's a first pitch strike. And that is a big pitch for Snell to get in his outings. Use the fastball to get ahead and then go to work.
Well, it's the difference between about 150 points on the on-base percentage. And that's a huge swing, whether you get 0-1 or it's 1-0.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
In fact, that's the same with Marco Estrada, too. Both of these guys, their outings depend a lot on how often they're getting ahead in counts.
Same spot down there. Bautista takes it. It's 2-2. Well, we've talked about that a lot with Snell last year in the 19 starts he made. This is his 16th start. 3rd time back, his 3rd stint with the Rays. Foul back, and the count is still 2-2. Fastball up that time in the mid-90s. Well, we've talked about those secondary pitches, and they're certainly good enough if he can get ahead in counts.
That's what he did against Cleveland. You know, he threw his fastball. He loved his fastball. Threw it aggressively in the zone. There it is.
And strike 3 call. He gets Bautista looking.
On the changeup. You know, so he established and really set the tone in this at bat with the fastball. And after fouling one off that was up in the zone, he comes with a changeup and he just locks Bautista up. That's not even a questionable pitch. It's right down the middle.
I'll tell you, that sequence right there, if he could bottle that and keep that with him at all times, impressive right there to get ahead in the count with a fastball, finish it with the change. Here's Josh Donaldson. He's red hot. Ball 1.
You know what it does is he's not afraid to use the changeup and the breaking balls when he's behind in the count, and that'll get you back in the count, and that's great. But when you can use those pitches to end an at-bat, they become even more dangerous, and it all is predicated on that pitch being in the zone early, and these first 2 have missed.
Down 2-0 to Donaldson. For Donaldson, 8 home runs in his last 16 games. 2-1. Well, Donaldson connected early last night after an opening walk to Bautista. Donaldson hit one out. That was it for the Blue Jays in the scoring department, but the Rays could muster only 1 run last night. Popped up. Right side. Robertson out from second base is there to make the catch. So the fastball in gets Donaldson.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense, see how it's going to line up tonight. Brought to you by our good friends at Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, more of the same. Dickerson, Smith, and Souza Jr. Across the infield, 3rd to 1st. Longoria, Echeverria, Robertson gets the call at second base with Lucas Duda, and Wilson Ramos will be behind the plate.
2 outs, bases empty for Justin Smoke. And a ground ball backhanded by Duda over to cover, finding the bag. Snell to take the toss, and that retires the side. Duda had him played well off the bag and made a nice play. And Snell got over there in time. 1, 2, 3, go the Blue Jays. Fox Sports Sun brought to you by your local Ford dealers and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. From Toronto, Rogers Center. A 1-2-3 first for Blake Snell. Here's Steven Souza Jr. facing Marco Estrada. First pitch is a fastball for a strike. Trip Gibson calling the balls and strikes. And 2 of them now on Souza Jr. Down in the count. And strike 3 called. He looked at 3 pitches.
3 fastballs. 3 fastballs there by Steven Souza Jr. You just wonder what he was thinking during the course of that at bat. And this is Marco Estrada's last 3. Obviously the innings pitched, 7 in each one of them. Earned runs way down. He's done a nice job in rebounding what has been an up and down season.
Well, here is Malik Smith. Takes a pitch down. 1-0. Estrada, 3 fastballs there to Souza, and he looked at all of them. We know he throws a changeup a lot, and the only thing you can figure, he's just looking for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're sitting changeup, and that's the risk that you run. He throws you 3 straight fastballs, and the bat never leaves your shoulder. So, see if that approach changes next time.
Ground ball. Rev Snyder at second base, and Alex Smith is out number 2.
You know, I don't know if I've ever seen that at the big league level. 3 straight fastballs to strike a guy out, all taken. I don't think I've ever seen that. I really don't.
Well, you have a guy with such a great changeup, and you start thinking about that, and he threw a first pitch strike fastball. And now you have to be wondering, well, what do you do the next time up, and what do you look for? That's the mind game now going forward after taking 3 fastballs for a strikeout.
He might as well stay with it. Might as well stay. He's going to throw you changeup at some point today. I don't think he's going to. The immaculate inning all against Steven Souza Jr. 9 straight heaters, 9 looking.
1 strike on Wilson Ramos. Foul back, 0-2. Ramos homered last night and also hit a ball to the warning track in center in his 3rd plate appearance in last night's game. Rays really trying to get him going, but you can say that up and down the lineup. Into the dirt. 1-2. It's really remarkable. The Rays scoring 12 runs over their last 10 games, and that's the fewest for any American League team in a 10-game span since the designated hitter was implemented in 1973. When you talk about an offensive blackout. He checked in time, and the count is 2-2. I mean, there you are. The Rays' offensive drought.
And that's why, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, could there be some bad mechanics involved? Sure. Some bad approaches, maybe. It's all mental at this point. It's all mental when it gets to be this long. Guys are either putting too much pressure on themselves, trying to do too much, you know, just getting your wires crossed. You know, you think about the most recent at bat here with Souza Jr. You know, looking for things that maybe you shouldn't be looking for.
And that's ball 4. Pitch down, and so the Rays get a base runner with 2 outs. You had a shot of Evan Longoria there in the Rays dugout, and he was saying earlier they're wearing it. He said, look, there's nobody to take responsibility for this except ourselves. I mean, they're willing to wear it, but boy, it's not a good fit for this team, particularly when we've seen them so good offensively for the entire year until this latest stretch.
It was the one part of the team that you really never thought would go into a prolonged slump. You know, you're going to have slides here or there where you're not hitting the ball as well as you would like, but there were so many different weapons in that lineup that you thought, okay, if a couple of guys go cold, you have those 3 or 4 other guys that can kind of pick up the slack. Who would have thought it would be all 9 going cold at once?
And you know, you never have 8 or 9 guys hitting all at the same time, but the idea was, as you alluded to, you're going to have 3 or 4 guys going. Maybe 3 or 4 guys aren't.
Right.
But somebody's hitting. In this case, no one is really hitting. And there's a strike to Echeverria.
Now, the home runs have gone way down, and you combine that with the opportunities that you have created. Your runners in scoring position has gone way down. It's just a killer combo.
High fly ball into left field. Pierce is there, not overly deep, and makes the catch. So the Rays going to walk and leave a man. No score through an inning and a half. And the Blue Jays scoreless against the Rays this weekend when they face the Seattle Mariners Saturday. The first 15,000 fans will get a Rays tote bag presented by MLB Network. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com today. This will be handy. Rays right back home after this 4-game series in Toronto. There's Kendrys Morales leading off. Snell's first pitch, a fastball, misses. Morales with a .249 average, 21 home runs. Switch hitter hitting over .350 from the right side. A little tap to third. Longoria had time. That slow roller. But Morales not fleet of foot by any stretch. And so Evan had a little bit more time as that play developed. Morales the first out.
Yeah, really, just about anybody else in the lineup is going to beat this out. Just the way it was hit, how slowly it was hit. But Evan Longoria, if the one guy's going to do that, Kendrys Morales would be hit. You can see how deep he is and how far he has to go. Realizes that ball is going to stay fair and then make the play.
You know, you talk about often that timing mechanism that good infielders have. It's just a second sense And a play like that sort of messes it up because Morales is so slow. You're thinking an ordinary runner, you think, well, there's no chance. Maybe I'll let it roll foul or try to see if it'll roll foul. Base hit to center. Pierce is aboard. Takes the 1-0 pitch, the fastball right back through the middle.
That points to the importance of knowing who's in the box, not just another hitter. Take note of who's in the box.
Yep.
You know, it's the old, when you're first learning the game of baseball and everybody's communicating. Okay, ball's hit to you, Bobby. What are you going to do? You know, in this particular situation, that's what you got to do at this level. You do it not subconsciously. You do it quietly in your own head, but you go, okay, Morales is there, and here I'm playing my position. So when that ball does come off the bat like that, where it, like it's a great point that you bring up, that you would think, no chance I'm going to get this guy. Let me just see where this ball is going to end up. But you know it's him. And you know it's him because you pay attention.
And Longoria among the best at that. 1 strike to count to Pilar. It's out of play the other way. 0-2. Off his foot, a little tapper straight back. Still a 2-strike count. Snell at a 1-2-3 first. 11 pitches in the first inning. 1 on, 1 out in the second, and he's ahead of Pilar. And that's the emphasis for Snell. Stay ahead in the count.
Just control it. When you do that, you set yourself up for success.
Just down. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you can't let yourself get discouraged when they take pitches like that. He wants a swing right there. And on a, with a lot of hitters, he may get the swing. You don't get it there, okay. Now you go back and what can I do here to end this at bat?
Into center field. That ball will drop. Bounces over the head of Souza and gets by Malik Smith. And now Pierce is going to try to score. Quick throw to the plate. He is safe. Pilar winds up at second, and what started to be just a little bloop single turns out to be a Toronto run, and Pilar winds up in scoring position.
This ball's going to fall in. It's off the end of the bat. If it's played properly, there's runners on first and second, and that's it. It gets over the head of Steven Souza Jr. and gets behind Malik Smith. And Pierce, as it goes over the head of Souza Jr., says, I'm going to third. It gets by Malik Smith, and then he's going to get waved home and score that run, able to sneak that foot in, and just sloppy defense by the Rays. And it leads directly to a Toronto run and more trouble.
Now here's Rob Refsnyder. The pitch is a ball up. They give Pilar a double on that and a run batted in, and that's a tough set of circumstances to go through right there for Blake Snell. Little popper short center, and out from second base goes Robertson to grab this one. 2 gone.
Those are the types of plays too that continue to eat away at the psyche of this team. It's already a fragile team right now, and when you have plays like that happen, it's certainly not helping the situation. That's a play right there that, yeah, okay, it falls in, you knock it down, and runners are at first and second, double plays in order. Let's go to work. And instead, it takes a high bounce and gets over Souza Jr.'s head. Okay, so first and third now. Well, no, now it gets by Malik Smith, and it's a run, and a runner at second base. And that just continues to eat away.
Mike Ullman, catcher, and he swings and misses. Pierce scored all the way from first. Upstairs. Yeah, Pierce does not score if the ball is not bobbled by Smith in center field.
He doesn't even get to third.
Yeah.
If Souza's able to flag that thing down, it took that high bounce, but once it got over his head, Malik's in backing him up, let the ball get by him.
Long swing, 1-2.
Good changeup here tonight, shown by Blake Snell in the early going. Very good changeup.
And an early challenge for Snell. He's come back to get Refsnyder, and he's in front of Ullman. It's pretty close, just off the plate. 2-2. Ullman out of Lakewood Ranch High School. Originally signed by the Orioles, spent some time in the Cardinal chain, battled shoulder issues. 2-2. Broken bat, a ground ball. Longoria has it. He's throw right on the money to first. So a run scores, a man left, and we go to the third. It's 1-0 Toronto.
Sports Sun. As you heard Dwayne and BA talking about earlier, it's no secret it's been a frustrating stretch for the Rays, but the man that's keeping them positive and even-keeled is hitting coach Chad Mottola, who says consistency is more important now than ever.
Hitting's contagious. It's one of those things that guys are pressing. First time in the pennant race for a lot of them, and the anxiety's high, and it's real, and the human nature's coming out a little bit. Yeah, it's been miserable. There's no hiding that for sure. It's one of those things that we were right in it. We're still in it now. We have plenty of time left and just building off today and the next day rather than looking in the past.
So Dwayne, BA, I mean, you hear there, Mottola believes this team is going to weather the storm, but one thing he also pointed out, they can't focus on going on these long winning stretches that you hear a lot of people talking about. He wants them to just win today. Yeah, that's exactly right. As Daniel Robertson fouls it back, and he's down on the count 0-2. But you saw the composure of Mottola. That's important to this team. And I think we've already seen BA a little pressing here.
Souza Jr., not to necessarily single him out, but he took those 3 pitches for strikes, and then that blooper that dropped in. He's anxious to get there and make a play, and it bounced over his head, and then Malik Smith had trouble corralling it. These guys are trying to do something special to help this team get out of this rut they're in. And you've got Chad Mottola saying, look, this is a good team. You're going to be good. You're going to be fine, but still tough not to press a bit. Base hit to center for Robertson.
The point that he made too about a lot of guys first time in a pennant race, in a playoff chase. This is where your leadership, and I mean leadership as far as the coaching staff, the guys that they look to the end of the dugout to, it's extremely important for them to be putting out a good vibe, a positive vibe, a vibe that says, hey, we got this. You know, even if it's false confidence, you've got to put out a confident vibe. You can't have, give off any kind of feeling of being defeated or looking defeated. And so it's important that that positive mindset really settles into that dugout from the top on down. It's the only chance you got.
Dickerson out in front of that pitch, strike 1. The line drive to second, his first time up. Rev Snyder made a leaping catch on it. Yeah, that's a big part of it. And it's tough to stay on that even keel when you've gone through a stretch as the Rays have. One ball, 1 strike.
Just not been able to get that vibe to click. And that's what this team's looking for. Vibe and click.
Duda's on deck. 1-1 to count to Dickerson. Over to first. Robertson back in. Dickerson starts to go and checks on the pitch up. 2-1.
That's a very good take for Corey Dickerson. We see him go after that pitch an awful lot, and he was able to lay off of it, and that helps him out in this count. Obviously now 2-1. Try to start to build something with the leadoff man aboard. That's how you do it.
Big cut and a miss. 2-2.
I also like Chad Mottola, saying, listen, don't look big picture. Don't look, hey, let's get on a hot streak for a week. Win your at bat. You're going to get 3 or 4 of them tonight. Win the at bat. That's what the focus has to be. And then you start winning enough of those, you'll start winning games.
Dickerson is out on strikes. Pitch up. He went after it. 1 gone in the third. Our Toyota inside look before and after the All-Star break, and this is a bit of what the Rays have been going through since the All-Star break. I mean, you're almost down 2 runs a game, hitting 198 with men in scoring position versus a little over 240.
And if you go back just over the last 10 games, it's under 070. It's 067.
Here's Duda swinging and hitting a high fly ball back to right field. That's got a chance, and it's gone. Home run for Lucas Duda on the first pitch. And the Rays on this home run grab a 2-1 lead. Duda, a towering fly ball that wound up in the bullpen.
And finally, one of these towering fly balls that was hit long enough. He got the barrel to it. Boy, he gets that ball up in the air. Will it get out? And you can tell by the body language actually of Jose Bautista, he had given up on that thing, and it does drop right into the pen.
So the Rays grab the lead. And here is Evan Longoria. Swings through this one for a strike. Well, the Rays have hit their fair share of home runs off Marco Estrada this year. Duda has just hit another one, and there's a high fly ball into left. Pierce will come in for this one, however, and make the catch. 2 gone. The Rays hit 3 home runs off him in his second start of the year. That was back in April at the Trop. They hit 2 home runs off him the first week of May at the Trop, and a couple more when they faced him here in Toronto in the middle of June, and now 1 here tonight.
He's given up 22 on the season, and the Rays have 8 of them. So you're talking about 35, 36%, maybe a little bit more than that. Change up. Oh, he was all over that. Not fooled at all by the change of speed. Everything in rhythm.
(2-0) the count to Morrison. Home run for Duda, his 4th since coming to the Rays. Morrison looks at a strike. 2-1. Two runs, 3 hits for the Rays off Estrada. He's walked 1. And now Morrison is ahead in the count. 3 balls and a strike. Steven Souza Jr. on deck. Morrison out front. Full count.
That's a dangerous pitch. That was a 3-1 changeup. Not a bad idea, but where he left that pitch. He was very fortunate that Logan Morrison didn't get into that one.
(3-2) and a foul tip strikeout or not. No, plate umpire Trip Gibson says it's a foul ball, hit the ground first.
That was close.
So that's a foul ball, and Morrison is still alive.
Let's take a look. Yeah, a little bit of a bounce up into that pocket.
Boy, I still don't know how umpires make that call. They're so close. But he was emphatic.
Yeah,
he sold it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You call it, you got to live by the call. You sell it.
And a liner, base hit up the right side. Bautista will cut it off. Morrison's going to go for 2, and he will beat the throw in. That's a double for Logan Morrison. Well, Morrison, with a chance to see another pitch, picks up his 18th double.
Yeah, you're that close to a strikeout, and all of a sudden you get a reprieve and you do this with it. He was able to yank those hands close to the body as that ball was in and shoot that ball down into the corner. Going to challenge the arm here of Bautista. He does a nice job of getting to it and then cutting it off, but not the same arm as we've seen the last few years from the Toronto right fielder, and the Rays have a 2-out chance.
Well, here's Steven Souza Jr. again. And this pitch way upstairs, starting him with the fastball up out of the zone. Got him looking at 3 fastballs in the second inning. Rays have taken the lead on the home run by Lucas Duda. Into the dirt this time. It's 2-0. Upstairs, 3 straight misses by Marco Estrada. Robertson opened with a base hit, and out later. Duda hit the home run on the changeup. Now with 2 outs, Morrison is at second on a double. 3-0 the count to Souza. And there's ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk after a 3-pitch strikeout. Souza heads to first. Hit on the corners. And Malik Smith will bat.
I don't know how much confidence there is right now with Marco Estrada in facing this lineup. You know, those 4 misses right there to Souza Jr. after what he did to him in the first at bat, and that's coming off of the home run and the double by Logan Morrison. And you just wonder if, oh, here we go again against this team, has started to rear its ugly head in the mind of Marco Estrada.
Alex Smith takes the pitch inside. Missing with a fastball. Well, there's that breakout of the last 3 this year and what the Rays have done against Marco Estrada.
Yeah, I mean, about a run an inning and maybe more.
High fly ball into left. Pierce will be there, and he makes the catch. Rays settle for 2 on the home run by Lucas Duda. It comes with Daniel Robertson aboard, and the Rays take a 2-1 lead as we move into the bottom of inning 3. Run at the top of the 3rd inning, giving the Rays a 2-1 lead. Blake Snell will go back to the mound to face Darwin Barney, and then back around to the top of the order, Jose Bautista and Josh Donaldson. Barney's in there at shortstop tonight. He is 4 for 6 against Snell in previous matchups, and there's a first pitch fastball in for a strike.
Talk about tying a guy up right there. 92, driving it down and in. Blake Snell given a lead here to work with, an important inning for him, and he has set the tone very nicely.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That one. foul ball. It's Bautista on deck. And he takes care of Barney with a mid-90s fastball right there.
He took complete ownership of that at-bat with this swing. 95 up and away. You see how Barney, that is just an emergency hack. All hands and wrists at the very last minute, thinking that ball's too close to take, and he just got overpowered.
Top of the order. First pitch to Bautista. It's too low. Bautista caught looking at a changeup his first time. This one is wide, 2-0. Little nubber down off the mound. Snell, and it's throw to first, and plenty of time to get Bautista.
Wait, a cue shot. That ball right off the end of the bat and just squibbed right out in front of home plate. Stayed fair. Becomes an easy second out for Blake. Say this is a big inning for Blake. Obviously he's facing Bautista and Donaldson here, but it has seemed that even, and the Rays haven't scored a lot, but even when they have scored here in this latest stretch, pitching has gone right back out there and given up at least a run or two.
Strike on the outside part of the plate to Donaldson. Well, you see what he has done after hitting .310 in a handful of games in April. Really got back into action in June, and it has taken him a little while to heat up, but boy, has he been hot recently.
We saw the 6 home runs in August, 7 home runs if you go back to the 31st, and a few games before that, you mentioned it in the open, 8 home runs last 16 games. That's the kind of Josh Donaldson that can carry a team for a while.
Snell behind him, 3-1. And ball 4, fastball outside. It's the first walk issued by Snell. Down to first goes Donaldson with Justin Smoak coming up. Smoak having a great year against lefties, hitting .400 with 7 home runs. You look across the board, he leads his team in hits. He leads the team in home runs. He leads the team in runs batted in. He leads the Blue Jays in slugging percentage. Pitch inside, 1-0.
And where would this team be without Justin Smoak?
Yeah, just thinking that when you factor in the injuries they've had to some big offensive pieces of their lineup, without him producing the way he has, it would have been a very long year for this team. Pitch inside, 2-0. Snell's had enough of that baseball, wants a new one.
You got to get those baseballs with quality strikes in them.
Two 2-0 the count. And there's a strike. There is one right out there on the corner,
which makes it quality.
Yes,
so he has the right ball.
Ground ball by the mound. Robertson will make the throw to first, and a nice job to come back and get Smoak. A man left, and we're through 3. On to the 4th. 2-1 Rays. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. From Toronto tonight. Get into the middle innings. Fourth, we'll find Wilson Ramos to lead off against Marco Estrada. Ramos walked his first time. And he shoots this one into left field. That's got some carry, and it's out of here. Home run for Wilson Ramos. It was almost as if he were waiting for that. He took his time getting in. In fact, Estrada was on the mound waiting and waiting and waiting for Ramos to step in. And when he did, he lined that one out of here for his 5th home run. And it's 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Changeup. And he just waits on the changeup. No fear of getting beat by the fastball. And is able to keep it fair. An absolute missile to left field. Sneak it over the wall. And I'll tell you, it goes back, I'm telling you, Dwayne, during his batting practice session yesterday. And then he hits that home run on a very difficult pitch in last night's game.
Yep.
Comes back, ran into him at the hotel, and he said, listen, I just got done watching my highlight reel from a couple years ago. I'm in a good spot right now. Trust me, I'm in a good spot. Well, who's to argue?
Yeah, well, he hit the ball in the 6th inning last night well, too. And then this one, the Rays have a 2-run lead. Echeverria fouls it back, 2-1. Two now. Fastball in, and Echeverria missed it. There's Duda with a 2-run home run in the 3rd. Ramos with a home run in the 4th. Into the dirt.
Now that's the one pitch. The curveball here tonight for Estrada has not even threatened this Rays lineup. I mean, the vast majority of them, he's bouncing well in front of the plate. And it's just been a do-nothing pitch. He has been limited to the fastball, the changeup, occasional cutter, but even that has been hit hard.
High fly ball toward the line and right. Bautista coming in a hurry. That's a fair ball. On his way to second, Echeverria. The throw comes back to the infield late. Well, they had Snyder, Bautista, and Smoke converging on that, and it fell in among the 3 and fell fair. A double for Echeverria.
Well, a couple of these well-placed extra base hits don't hurt either. And really, Justin Smoke was the only one that had a shot at it. And it's almost an impossible angle for him, and he didn't even throw his glove up at it. And that ball lands just fair, and the Rays foul the home run up with the double.
Now Daniel Robertson, who singled his first time up. He scored on the home run by Lucas Duda. It's a pitch outside. .34-year-old right-hander Marco Estrada. Rays have touched him for 3 so far. That's a strike, just touching the outside corner. 1-1. Wilson Ramos leading off the inning with a home run, his 5th of the year. Two and 1. The Rays have now hit 9 home runs off Marco Estrada this year.
Out of 23. And that percentage just continues to grow. They have his number. And so if it was ever a night for the Rays offense to be set up to break out, this is it.
We got Robertson out in front on that one. 2 and 2. 34-year-old right-hander. There's the Buffalo.
Strong.
Yes, he is.
Strong man.
And a cut and a miss. He comes back and has him out in front again. Robertson, the first out of the inning.
Came right back with that changeup, and that right there, one of the A+ ones here thrown tonight by Estrada. But he needed that.
Here's Corey Dickerson. 0 for 2. Did a line drive his first time up. Struck out on a pitch up. He chased in the third. The Rays with a run home on the Ramos homer, and here's another one out there to get with Echeverria following the home run by Ramos with a double. Dickerson came in 8 of 17 against Estrada with a home run. And a strike on the outside edge. Estrada working over the corners here, and that changeup. He had Robertson out in front of a couple pitches, and very cautious with the fastball on the corners.
That's where he needs the help of the third pitch.
And a liner into center field for a base hit. Echeverria will be waved home, and the Rays add another run. It's now 4-1. Echeverria scores from second on the base hit by Dickerson. A line drive into center. 3 hits, 2 runs in the inning.
And what the Rays have been able to do here with Estrada is relegate him to 2 pitches. The cutter has not been effective. The curveball has been nowhere to be found. It's been the fastball and the changeup, and he has to be perfect with them. He has not been, and the Rays with a run in innings so far.
And here is Lucas Duda, who hit the home run in the third. A 2-run home run to open the scoring. Pitch inside. Duda, as you know, joined the club at the end of July. Hit a home run in New York off Tanaka. And then hit one the next day off David Robertson. He hit 3 home runs before the month was out. Fly ball into center. Pilar will be there to make the catch. 2 gone. And Duda picking up his 4th home run here tonight, his last time up. Now Evan Longoria with Dickerson at first. Evan 1 out of 2. Did a fly ball to left his last time after the line drive single to left in the first. Upstairs.
Trying to make that adjustment with the curveball. A lot of them have been down in the dirt, and he realizes if he's going to hang around in this game and give his team a chance to get back in it, he's going to need something else besides the fastball and changeup, and he's still searching.
Runner goes. The pitch is down. The throw not in time and skips through into center. That will allow Dickerson to go to third. 4th stolen base of the year for Corey Dickerson.
And he picked the right pitch to go on. A breaking ball. That one is in the zone. It forces Ullman, though, to throw from his knees because the jump was so big. And that throw ends up a little bit short. It skips right by Refsnyder. And Corey Dickerson takes his act over to third base.
2nd error of the year charged to Ullman. 2-0 the count on Evan Longoria. That's a strike. 2-1.
Oh, he called that curveball a ball? Previous pitch?
I think he did.
That's a terrible
Yeah.
call. I mean, that ball was right down the middle. They'll take it.
You know, that happens a lot when the catcher's involved in a play and a throw. Ground ball over the mound, out to short. Barty with the pickup and throw. So the Rays get on the board. Ramos a home run, and Dickerson singled home Echeverria. So the Rays scored 2, and they'll carry this 4-1 lead into the bottom of the 4th. Oh. Rays lead 4-1, bottom of the 4th coming up. MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Kendrys Morales, the switch hitting DH, leads it off. Pitch is in there, a strike. That's a strike. Fastball, 0-2.
Your team extends the lead. You go right out and set the tone once again with an 0-2 count.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 24-year-old left-hander Blake Snell continues to look for that first win of the year, and he has a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th, and he strikes out Morales.
Yikes. I mean you're so used to the slider down and in. He comes with a hook. Look at the depth on that baby. But again, what set it up? Getting ahead. Instead of throwing that pitch 2-1 to get back to 2-2, throw it 1-2 to end an at-bat. And that's what he's been able to do by pitching out in front. It further emphasizes what Jim Hickey has been preaching to him for the longest time. Now he's able to do it.
And there's a first pitch strike to Pierce on the fastball. Well, there's some good rhythm right here in the bottom of the 4th inning by Snell.
Here he comes again, not waiting around.
Pitch popped up foul. That's going to be out of play. You know, that curveball he threw to Morales, in terms of usage, that's his 4th pitch.
Yeah.
But it's a good pitch.
Did that look like anybody's 4th pitch?
No.
I mean, you're exactly right, though. Fastball, changeup, slider. Those are his top 3 by far. That looked like, well, it didn't look like a 4th pitch, that's for sure. I would have taken his 4th pitch.
Who wouldn't?
That would have been my second.
That.
It could have been, yeah.
Hey, we see that about, maybe 1 every 10 pitches of his outings.
Yeah, usually it's that right there. The hard slider down and in. But how about this?
Look at that.
Yeah, right on top of it. Great release point. And just rip it right over the top of that baseball. That's pretty.
This went back to the mound, deflects off Snell. Calmly picks it up and makes the play at first. And Pierce is out of there. Pitcher first.
Yeah, calmly makes the play and then spends the next few seconds muttering under his breath. Because these don't feel good. He got the inside of that right leg.
Kevin Pillar. And he fouls that one. An 0-1 count. Foul the other way. Again, a foul ball.
See the way that he went after
to catch up.
And did you see how he went after it? Almost jumped at it.
Yep.
Okay, well, you've got him set up. Any off-speed pitch down, you got him. Well, look how he goes after that. I mean, he's almost coming.
A little tapper foul outside of third there.
When you see a hitter go up and go after a pitch like that, and you talk about opening up the strike zone.
Bit away there. Fastball, that one hitting 96. And a base hit into right. It comes off the fastball. And Pillar's 2 for 2.
Right, he did try to go with the slider after that fastball up and away, but then he went right back and stayed with the hard stuff. And Pillar gets one that he can handle. He doesn't have to jump at that one. And he's able to soft serve it into right field. 2-out hit.
Rob Snyder, the second baseman. Upstairs. He's behind 2-0. Have taken a 4-1 lead. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rays trying to snap this tailspin. Now a strike, upper part of the zone. Rays have dropped 4 straight, 6 of their last 7. Blue Jays have won 3 in a row and 6 of their last 8.
They're sitting basically just a game behind the Rays.
Yep. Rays running 4th right now.
Yeah.
They're a half game back of 3rd place Baltimore. Ground ball shortstop. Echeverria to second. Out there on the force. We're going to go to the 5th. 4-1 Tampa Bay. Morrison, Susan, Smith due up. Rays have hit 2 home runs tonight. Lucas Duda got the Rays on the board with a 2-run blast in the 3rd. And the Rays open the 4th. A home run from Wilson Ramos, his 5th of the year. So the Rays now with 9 home runs against Estrada. Most home runs off one pitcher. He tops the list for the Rays now.
Doing some figuring right now, Dwayne. The Rays have accounted for 39% of all home runs that he has given up this season.
More than significant. How about that? Some pretty good pitchers on that list, too. There's a liner and a base hit into right. Morrison takes an 0-1 pitch and is aboard. His 2nd hit tonight.
Constant pressure. That's what we're seeing here tonight by this lineup against Estrada. Not letting him off the hook. Living out of the stretch.
Well, the Rays in the last 3 innings have put the leadoff man aboard. Robertson single. Ramos hit the home run, and now Morrison with a base hit. Steven Souza Jr. stepping in. He shoots one into right field. He has a hit. Batista with the pickup. Morrison down to 2nd. 3 pitches in, and the Rays mount a threat again. 1st and 2nd, nobody out.
He just can't find the 3rd pitch. Here he tries to go with a cutter, and that thing came out, had a little hump in it. It stayed up. Souza Jr. just laces it into right field. A good job there at the plate. And he's starting to tighten down once again.
To Malik Smith looking for his 1st hit. He has grounded out and hit a fly ball to left. Dermody up in the bullpen now for Toronto. And a liner out at 2nd, and the ball loose, but they're still going to call the runner out.
Why? Did he ever have control of that?
That's the question. And Kevin Cash questioning that. Harry Cooper makes the call, saying that Morrison
he never had it.
Doubled off second.
Never had it.
And Cash wants to have a conversation.
Yeah, the ball bounces off right there. Then it is off Ref Snyder. Nobody ever caught that baseball. It's not even close.
No, he never had possession in any way, shape, or form.
That's not even debatable. I don't know how you zoo that.
So the line drive by Malik Smith. He's out. And they tried to double up Morrison.
Well, you know what threw the whole timing and rhythm of the playoff in the first place was Ref Snyder makes the catch. And then he looked like he wanted to initially flip it, then decided, no, I'm going to keep it. No, I'm going to flip it. And that's why coming across the bag, Darwin Barney was all out of sorts, and the ball bounces off him. It's not even close. This is a complete and utter waste of time. If they would just look up here, Dwayne, we can set them straight and get on with the ball game.
But this won't take long.
Well, let's hope. They could be in a pizza break.
Yep, so they're going to go to the video here on the Rays challenge. He just never had possession. In fact, I'm not even sure the ball touched him when he was on the bag. I think he was across the bag at the time. So the Rays will have runners at first and second with one out. So Smith is out. Souza at first. Morrison at second. And here is Wilson Ramos. Ramos under it. Skies it to center. Pilar couldn't find it. And it drops. And the bases are going to be loaded. Souza had to scamper to get into second. Pilar lost it, and the ball dropped in front of him. So Ramos will get a base hit.
Boy, this is one of the stranger plays you'll see. Ramos not happy, and right there, Pilar's already telling you he does not know where that ball is. And by the time he sees it, Bautista couldn't find it. You know, it's dusk here, and that ball got lost up there in the dusk.
So it's Echeverria now with the bases loaded. Which is down.
There's the dusk that the ball got lost in, and then it comes down, it bounces off the sprinkler head, and the Rays end up bases juiced. Just one out.
So big opportunity here if Echeverria can add to the lead. Pitch is down 2-0. I remember when years ago when Nolan Ryan was pitching for the Angels, and they started some of those games out there around twilight time. Hitters had a difficult time picking up pitches off a guy like Ryan anyway.
Yeah.
But at that time of the day, that little twilight or dusk, either one, they had a lot of trouble. And Pilar could not find that one on a high fly ball to center.
It's funny when you look out from our vantage point, the sky right now looks like the color of the roof at Tropicana Field. And you can understand where
all over the baseball.
Yeah, it could be challenging. And it wasn't just Pilar. You saw Bautista too. He had no idea where that ball was.
3-0 count. Echeverria takes it low for ball 4. That forces home a run on the walk. Morrison crosses the plate. And a run batted in for Echeverria. It's now a 5-1 ball game.
Yeah, and you start to wonder here about Marco Estrada mentally. That ball absolutely could have been called a strike, but again, the bottom of the zone, that strike seems to be going away. And against a team that he has, you go back to August of last season, he has faced the Rays 6 times, and he's lost to the Rays 6 times.
And the Rays tonight have 5 runs, 10 hits, 3 walks, a couple of home runs, and we're 1 out into the 5th inning.
And this is about, I mean, this could be the worst of the bunch, but this is a typical outing here recently, about a run an inning. And the Rays still have a chance to surpass that.
Daniel Robertson, who singled and scored in the 3rd, he is 1 for 2. And this pitch blocked by Ullman. Ball, no strikes. Souza Jr. 3rd, Ramos 2nd, Echeverria the runner at 1st. And now ball 2. 2-0. Robertson ahead in the count. Robertson managed to get that guy home more times than not, and trying to add to the lead right now ahead in the count. He fouls it back. Pitch in the upper part of the zone. Fastball around 90. Estrada in trouble in the 5th. He's allowed a run, coming off 2 high pitch count innings in the 3rd and 4th frames. And he ends him out in front. He used that pitch to strike out Robertson in the 4th inning. And behind in the count 2-1. Robertson out in front again here.
Yeah, that was another very good one, and let's see if he goes right back to it. That is a pitch that he has had success with against Robertson, and he needs a punch out here.
Upstairs, he tried to fastball and missed with it up. 3-2. Dickerson on deck. And ball 4. He walks in another run.
And how about the fact that he never went back to the changeup? He had gotten him the previous at bat. He got to 2-2 with him with a great changeup, and then inexplicably he goes fastball, nowhere near the zone.
John Gibbons comes out to make the pitching change. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. The 5th inning, get a $6 value for $5 when you ask for a grouper from the Florida Lottery. With so many life-changing prizes, Get your group ready. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Marco Estrada out of this game after 4 1/3. He leaves with the bases loaded, and Matt Darmody is the new pitcher making his 6th appearance.
I got to tell you, I'm really surprised that Estrada did not go back to that changeup to Daniel Robertson. Ended up coming with 2 fastballs, and it's going to end his night, obviously.
Yeah, you wonder if he wasn't just maybe outthinking himself there, as he used 2 of them to strike out Robertson in the 4th, and threw a great one to him in the 5th inning, and then walked him on 2 fastballs that missed.
You know, and it wasn't like the swings and misses by Robertson, like he was, closing in on that pitch. It was the same swing. He still wasn't picking that pitch up very well. And sometimes it is difficult to tell when a guy swings through a pitch whether he just missed it. Was he a little bit out in front? Sometimes it's hard to tell. And maybe at that point you do talk yourself into, you know what, he's on that. I'm going to trick him with the fastball.
Dickerson lifts this fly ball into left. Pierce coming in, and he makes the catch. Go back toward 3rd, and the runner Ramos remains there. Bases are still loaded as Dickerson lifts the fly ball to medium depth in left. Two gone. It is Lucas Duda. The 8th man to come to the plate. He opened the scoring with a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Opened the scoring for the Rays. That gave them a 2-1 lead at the time. They've expanded that to 6-1 right now. And a strike call. Upstairs, 1-1. One and two. Seven-year-old lefty in relief of Estrada. Foul back. Holds the count. They're 1-2. Blake Snell handed the 6-1 lead tonight. 1-2 to Duda. A little tap to the right side. That could be trouble. The shuffle pass back to first, and just in time, Germany got over there to take that little feed from Smoke. A close play at first. And the Rays pause for a moment and decide not to challenge it. So the top of the 5th is over. We take another look as the Rays have built this 6-1 lead.
Blake Snell, the beneficiary of this outburst by the Rays offense, but I'll tell you what, he's been doing pretty good by himself. That fastball has been very good once again. He's been working for the most part up in the count. How about that curveball there to Kendrys Morales? And just getting outs one after the other when he needs them. But it all starts with setting the tone early in ABs. And he's been getting ahead, staying ahead, and making it look pretty easy.
Mike Ullman, the catcher, looks at a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. So important for Snell to run 3 hits, 3 strikeouts and a walk through 4 innings. And now he's ahead 0-2. Ullman in his second stint this year with the Blue Jays. One and 2. He'd been at Buffalo most recently. It's wide. 2-2. Went drilled back into left center field. Dickerson goes back and makes the catch. Dickerson adjusted his route, cutting across to his left and then breaking back to his left.
I'll go with that. I'll go with the adjust, because he did. He started to cut straight across, and watch right there, he makes a little jag step.
It's a little down and out.
It was. 'Tis the season.
Darwin Barney now. Oh, look out. It's shot right back over the head of Snell. He got that glove hand up there and the ball was past him. And Barney, who was 4 for 6 against Snell coming in, is now 5 of 8 against him.
A little disconcerting there up around the noggin. That shot right over the head.
Fourth hit picked up by Toronto. Now it's Jose Bautista. Bautista 0 for 2 tonight. Fastball is upstairs. So Blake Snell starting the 3rd time through here with Bautista. 1 on, 1 out in the 5th. That's a strike.
Well, really, there's no reason for Blake Snell to change anything about his approach. It's not like as this game has moved on, these hitters have gotten more and more comfortable with him. He just needs to continue to follow the game plan and make pitches. He'll be just fine.
2-1. Snell worked 6 1/3 in his last outing against Cleveland. Gave up a run, 4 hits. Fly ball toward the line and right. Long run for Souza Jr. He can't get there. Waits for it to come down. It's going to be a double for Bautista as Barney goes to 3rd. Oh, Souza was way over toward right center. Had a long run to make. That's a helpless feeling.
Well, and he had no chance of making it. Look, he is way over there, almost playing, right down the 2nd base to 3rd base line. Look how far he's got to go, and he's on his horse. It was just placed perfectly. Nothing he could do about that. That right there is being the victim of the outfield shift. You see that infield shift get exploited every now and then. This time it was the outfield, and the Blue Jays now second and third with one.
And Josh Donaldson is up. So what started as a one-out single by Barney, now the double by Bautista, and here's trouble. Donaldson is popped out and walked. The pitch just misses off the corner. "17 home runs, 8 of those in his last 16 games. And again, just missing that outside corner. 2-0. Tapper foul. That went out over the plate. 2-1. Marty at third, Bautista at second. Donaldson gives you some kind of swing up there at the plate. Shot deep into right. Souza will run out of room. Home run for Donaldson is 18th. Three-run home run. And just like that, it's a two-run ball game.
In an at-bat where Blake Snell had fallen behind in the count. And now you come in. We saw this in last night's ball game. Fastball up and away. Donaldson takes it that way. This one a little bit further. And this one worth an extra run. A three-run shot. And now we're right back to a close ball game. In fact, right now, Dwayne, the difference in this game are the two bases loaded walks by Marco Estrada.
Three-run home run by Donaldson. There's a base hit off the bat of Smoke into center field. So with only one out, Smoke singles. Kendrys Morales due up. He'll be the potential tying run. And to the mound goes Jim Hickey. Everybody gathered around the mound for the Rays. Well, here's that home run swing from Donaldson.
He lets that ball travel into the zone, and you can see it squarely on the barrel.
Steve Pearce knew it was gone.
Now this Toronto team, they're starting to dream about the playoffs once again. And, you know, closing in, there's a lot of teams in front of them, but everybody all bunched up. And this is a team, as you see Steve Cishek getting loose in that bullpen. This was a team in the American League Championship Series a year ago.
Kendrys Morales now the hitter. And he's out in front. Strike one. Ground out and a strikeout for Morales. It's too low. 1-1. The Rays have Robertson shaded up the middle. No shift per se, but you can see that right side open with Smoke at first and Duda holding him. It'll be a strike at the knees. And it's 1-2.
Maybe the low strike is not dead after all.
And a cut and a miss. So they take care of Morales, and a very big strikeout for Blake Snell.
He's gotten him swinging and missing at that curveball here pretty regularly. Got him in the last at bat with a curveball, and then comes right here, and he throws that one right out over the middle of the plate, drops it below the zone. A ton of depth, especially when you think about Blake Snell's release point and how tall he is out on that mound.
Steve Pearce. There's a strike to him. He scored a couple in the top of the inning. 3-run home run in the bottom of the inning has made it a 2-run game. And there's another strike. 0-2. Ground ball, that'll be foul. We'll see another 2-strike pitch.
Well, here he's starting to fall in love with that hook. And why wouldn't you? I mean, the way that he's been able to snap that thing off.
Ball wide. Back to the heat at 95. Taken low. 2-2. Millar's on deck. Man on, 2 outs. Rays lead stands at 2. Tapper foul. Snell touch for a run in the second inning on the Pierce single and a double by Pilar. 3-run home run in the 5th by Donaldson. He pushed a bit in this inning in pitch count. 2-2 again. Oh, very close. A little low. And the count is full. Smoke will be off with this next pitch.
I'll tell you what, you got to tip your hat here to Steve Pearce. He is putting up a heck of a fight after falling down early, taking some close pitches, fouling off some others.
Back in. 3-2 pitch. On its way. Liner into left. Dickerson is right there for it and makes the catch, retiring the side. We're through 5. 6-4 Tampa Bay. update. Indeed, a 2-run game here. Rays up 6-4, and Evan Longoria will begin the inning against the left-hander Matt Dermody. And it would behoove the Rays to continue to score. As hot as Josh Donaldson has been in this Toronto ball club. Morrison next, and then Souza Jr. Dermody came on to get Dickerson and Duda, ending the 5th inning when the Rays scored 2 and left the bases loaded. Those were 2 big outs by Dermody. 2-0 the count. Longoria ahead, 3 balls, no strikes. Rays had 10 hits, 6 runs off Estrada. Evan takes a strike. The right-hander Danny Barnes is up in the bullpen. Ground ball toward the hole. It's short. Barney, strong, accurate throw to first to get Longoria.
That was a hose by Darwin Barney, and it needed to be.
1 away. Kids will be able to wake up to Rays win every morning after attending the Rays game Sunday against the Mariners. Kids 14 and under receive the Rays win alarm clock presented by State Farm. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com tonight. Logan Morrison pitches down, 1 ball, no strikes. One and one the count. Morrison opened the 5th inning with a base hit, scored the first of 2 runs in that inning, picked up his 18th double in the 3rd. Now it's 2-2. Count is full. That fastball at 91. Left to his own devices, Dermody breaks out the curveball and the 4-seamer and 2-seamer. Spreads them around pretty evenly. Also has the slider. And that's ball 4. So he misses there and walks. Morrison. El Dorado invites you to settle in with us tomorrow. The Rays will take on the Blue Jays in the 3rd game of this series, and our coverage begins at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Sun. Marcus Stroman on the hill for the Blue Jays. Jake Faria will do the pitching for the Rays. And out comes John Gibbons. Steven Souza Jr. is due up, and a slow stroll to the mound after the walk of Morrison. And that's going to be it for Dermody. Call to the bullpen. Again brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Jr. due up, and he's inviting you to join his fantasy football league for charity. Draft alongside Steven Souza Jr. and his teammates at the Trop August 18th for bragging rights and prizes. Visit bigleagueimpact.org to sign up. See who you'll take in the first pick. Here is Steven Souza Jr. against Danny Barnes, making his 43rd appearance. Outside.
He's done some good work for John Gibbons coming out of the bullpen. More than a strikeout, an inning, an opponent's average below 200.
Oh, 2-0. Souza called out on strikes in the second. He walked on 4 pitches in the third, singled and scored in the 5th inning. And lines it into left field. One big hop cut off by Pierce, headed to third, and making it standing up is Morrison on a double by Steven Souza Jr. And the Rays suddenly have something cooking on the walk, the pitching change, and the double. 19th double of the year for Souza.
Fall behind and you come out over the plate. You even miss a location on that one, and Souza Jr. well, has his way with right-handed pitching. Extra base hit there, and the Rays, they look to answer. This would be very nice for this team as the Blue Jays have closed in 6-4. They're going to bring the infield up.
And Malik Smith is the hitter. A big spot for Malik's here against the right-hander Barnes. He asks for time and steps back. Smith 0 for 3 tonight. Pinch hit last night and grounded out to third. Bit late right there. Strike one. Smith right now is 4 for his last 28. Pops it back a third, foul. Donaldson to the stands, but it's out of play. The count is 0-2. Morrison at third, Souza with a double at second. Big opportunity for the Rays right here to answer the 3-run fifth with additional runs in the 6th inning. Again, Smith stepping back, a long look by Barnes. And it's popped up, foul ball right side. Smoke making the call. And a big out for Barnes and Toronto.
Huge. You want to get the ball in the air, but Alex wanted to get that ball into the outfield, at least drive 1 run home. And instead, infield pop up, and Barnes an out away from getting out of this spot, although big boy comes to the plate and he's having a nice night, a nice series.
Wilson Ramos, a walk homer and a single tonight. 2 outs with 2 men in scoring position. Barnes stepping back. Ramos stepping out. Step back again by Barnes, and he asked for Ullman, so we'll have a little get together here. They recognize Ramos has been swinging the bat well. Blake Snell, a little over 90 pitches through 5. Touch for the 3 runs in the 5th on the home run by Donaldson. Close the lead to 2. There's a pitch away. Fastball from Barnes. And a ground ball by the mound, but picked up by Refsnyder, and the throw to first in time. The Rays lead by 2, 6-4. Part of this game after Toronto had taken a 1-0 lead in the second. Lucas Duda gave the Rays a 2-1 lead with his 4th home run of the year in the 3rd. Wilson Ramos opened the 4th with a homer. Rays scored 2 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. But a 3-run home run by Josh Donaldson in the bottom of the 5th closed the gap to 2, making it 6-4. And it's 6-4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning with Kevin Pillar due to lead off against Blake Snell. Pillar 2 for 2 tonight against Snell, a double which drove in a run in the 2nd and a base hit in the 4th. The pitch is down. The Blue Jays have their 4 runs, 7 hits off Snell. That's a strike. 1-1. Headed to short. Echeverria throws a strike to first to Duda. Pillar is out number 1.
Big one. Always the first one is big. And Blake Snell, this is the part of the game, you're at 94 pitches and you understand that your night is coming to an end. And so every pitch from here on out should be max effort. You get down to this part of the game and the Blue Jays obviously have tightened it up a little bit. You've got to go all out from here on.
It's a first pitch strike to Rob Roxenheider.
And it looks like he is. A good fastball there with good velocity and great location.
One and one.
Well, he definitely has made the transition. Early in the game, he was going with the slider. Now he's using that curveball a lot here the last couple of innings.
Buries that pitch. 1 and 2 as Snyder fouled it off. Broken bat roller to third. Longoria with a scoop and throw. 2 up, 2 down. Well, are we going to have catcher's interference? I think catcher's interference is going to be called, and that's going to give the Blue Jays a base runner. Kevin Cash talking with Trip Gibson. Well, anytime there's a base runner now in this 2-run game, it becomes critical. Snow obviously didn't like it. It was not an obvious catcher's interference.
No, but not by any stretch. And it was a ball that was moving in on Ref Snyder too. Usually you see those catcher's interference, a ball middle of the plate down or away as the bat gets extended out. That was called.
Mike Ullman, the catcher now, tossed to first. Ref Snyder, the runner. That's an error charge to Ramos. Well, that was tough to find on the replay. Ullman is grounded out, flied out. Pitch is up. 1-0. J.P. Howell is up in the Toronto bullpen now. Upstairs, fastball, 2-0.
Just overthrew the last two, and Blake Snell probably not real happy with that call, thinking that he's got a ground out for the second out. Instead, he's out of the stretch. And the last two pitches, he just really reached back for a little bit extra and got out of his delivery. Let's see if he can make that on the fly adjustment.
And he's up again. All three of these pitches out of the zone up. 3-0. One on, one out. Barney on deck, a guy who has hit the ball hard off him. There's a strike. 3-1. That's that old give you the benefit of the doubt 3-0, and it's not infrequent.
Well, it looks like all four pitches were in about the same area, at least as far as height goes. But you get one here. Now what can you do with it?
And now the count is full.
How about that? 3-1 change. Big pitch by Blake. 86 miles an hour. You see Ullman selling out for power. Ends up way out in front. And now you could double up on that pitch. You could come back with the fastball here, and it'll appear to be even harder because of that very good changeup. They're going to come right back and double up.
3-2. And he lifts a pop fly right field. Souza Jr. still coming. He's there, so is Robertson. And it's Souza Jr. who made the catch. Neither one was going to give up on that one. And Souza Jr. managed to grab it and hang on for the out. Boy, that got to be a little shaky there in the closing moment.
Yeah, you averted disaster here. You know, you're playing on the road, the crowd's getting into it. Sometimes it's tough to hear. And it's clear. You could see Souza Jr. calling it, and I'll tell you, Daniel Robertson ventures right into his area. He's going to try to make the catch, and they are very, very lucky that that did not turn out poorly.
Well, 2 outs in the inning, and the hitter, it's Darwin Barney. There's a strike call, fastball. And a foul ball. It's 0-2. Blake Snell trying to pitch around the catcher's interference. He takes one upstairs. Ground ball. Diving stop. Longoria up and throws a strike to first to get Barney and retire the side. Nice play by Evan down at third. No runs, no hits, an error on the catcher's interference, and a runner left on base. Rays through 6, lead by 2. 7th inning. Bonefish play of the game, getting the Rays out of the bottom of the 6th, turned in by Evan Longoria.
And you got to scramble to your feet and make a strong throw to get Barney, and Evan Longoria makes this look smooth and easy. And Blake Snell, yeah, loving that, baby.
Blake Snell giving the Rays 6 innings tonight. Rays have a 2-run lead as they come in to hit in the 7th against Danny Barnes. Here's a Danny Echeverria. Pops him up on the right side. Smoke and Ref Snyder going to be Smoke making the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out of the 7th. It will be Daniel Robertson. Robertson has been on base twice tonight, officially 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning and then walked with the bases loaded, picking up a run batted in the 5th. It's a strike, and he emerged unscathed in that little brush up with Souza Jr. making that catch in the bottom of the 6th. Both Robertson and Souza Jr. after it. Souza came away with the grab.
We've seen too many times, you know, guys colliding violently and going down with injuries on plays like that. And so you're very happy that obviously that wasn't the case. And number 2, that the ball was held onto. You look to that next. A lot of times those gloves going for the ball at the same time crash into each other. Ball falls safely.
Yeah, and when that happens, when the guy preceding that reaches on catcher's interference, and then if you'd have somebody reach on a ball that fell as a result of a collision, then you really start to think about things. There's a ground ball toward the middle. Barney up with it, and and out at first. The call on the scoop by Smoke. Lance Barksdale said he had possession of it long enough, and the call is going to stand for the moment.
They're asking for help.
Yeah, let's talk about that one.
He had a snow cone the whole time. It's just a matter of how long does he have to hold it before it comes out. It was in there, and then all of a sudden that glove hits the right leg and it pops free. So we'll see. Everybody intently watching this meeting.
There's Smoke there just within a few feet of this umpiring crew talking it over.
Really the first time that anybody's been interested in watching somebody else's meeting.
Or being a part of one. And Sonia, the crew chief over there, and they're going to come out of that and rule that Robertson is safe. And here comes John Gibbons out to greet at least half of this umpiring crew. Barry Cooper, the 3rd member, walking over to be a part of that. And here's another look at that play and the throw. The Blue Jays not liking the result of that. The transcript of this conversation would be interesting to have.
That might have been part of the meeting. Guys, however we come out of this, somebody's coming out to argue. Who do we want to argue with?
Well, right now, the Rays have a base runner. So let's see. I think they're going to go to the video. So we've had an out call, we've had a safe call, and now we're going to go to the video. So Lance Barksdale and Dan Iassogna over there. There's the scoop. The ball, is it loose or not?
See, that's the thing. How long does he have to hold it throughout the? Yeah, this is the catch room. Does he need to complete a football move? There you go.
Well, they rule safe. And the Reds will have a base runner here. The play confirmed. Confirmed. Not stands, confirmed. And we'll go to the top of the batting order now. They're going to charge Smoke with an error.
Smoke.
Right, that's a tough error. Big swing and a miss by Dickerson.
You know what? Let's send that to review. How is that an error on Smoke?
I know.
That would have been an unbelievable scoop, is what it would have been.
Absolutely. We might have to go to the video for that.
Yeah. I mean, now we go to the video for everything else. I'd like to go to the video on what I had for lunch today. See what the problem was there.
It's just outside 1-1. Wow. Hadn't noticed.
Well, you know what? I'll take some video later and I'll show you.
I'll probably be okay.
You good?
I'm good. Foul ball out of play. It's a ball, 2 strikes. Dickerson drove in a run in the 4th inning, also picked up a steal. One on, one out in the 7th. And he takes ball 2 down. Two and two. Runner takes off. The pitch is foul back. Robertson off and running there on that pitch. Now we're going to get a ruling, and it's an E6. So someone must have felt the same way. So it'll be an error on Barney. The 7th. Swing and a miss. Dickerson out on strikes. That's a big strikeout for Barnes.
You know, it was, and didn't it seem that that pitch was never going to get the home plate? I mean, that was a true Bugs Bunny changeup with some finish at the end. Took forever to get there, and Corey Dickerson just could not wait back long enough.
Now it's Lucas Duda. Duda homered. A 2-run home run back in the 3rd. And the fastball up. Strike 1. Now Barnes heavy with that 4-seamer and a changeup, and it's not overpowering up there. But he gets a lot of swing throughs.
He puts the fastball in good spots, and there's enough of a difference in the velocities. You know, you think about like Brad Boxberger, how he pitches.
Yep.
And Boxberger may have a little bit more on the top end, but Barnes able to get it up there at 89 to 91. But then all of a sudden that changeup in the upper 70s.
Two outs, runner on, 2 strikes the count. Duda at the plate. He's leading by 2. Ullman heads to the mound. Barnes, a 3rd pitcher tonight. Rays got all 6 of their runs off Estrada in 4 1/3. Dermody pitched what turned out to be 1 full inning in parts of 2. Walked a man, and now Barnes. Barnes 2 outs and a base runner into the 7th. Fly ball the other way into left. Pierce will go back in front of the track and hauls it in. Rays leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Bautista, Donaldson, and Smoke due up for Toronto. By T-Mobile, and boy, you talk about a big emotional night for Chad Bettis after undergoing surgery in November and then a series of chemotherapy in March for testicular cancer. Last night coming back for the Rockies, making his first start of the year, worked 7 innings of 6-hit baseball, couple of strikeouts and no walks. You can only imagine, and he talked about the emotion he felt, and then keeping that in check and going out and pitching the way he did.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, to get back out there, just unbelievable. And everybody, I know that building into that start, everybody had their eyes on that start, and then the emotions that he's going to feel, and you put those to the side and you go out and perform like he did. What a night! Absolutely great night for Chad.
Steve Cishek now takes over on the mound. His first pitch here in the bottom of the 7th is a strike to Jose Bautista. Bautista, Donaldson, and then Smoke. Oh, 2. Center field. Malik Smith with room out there makes the catch. 1 away. Let's check in with Alex Cordery right now. Alex?
Hey, Dwayne B.A. Well, just like we heard from Chad Mottola earlier talking about how hitting is contagious, for Rays pitcher Sergio Romo, he says pitching is contagious as well. He says this bullpen just feeds off each other. They take a lot of pride in the way that they've been picking up the starters this season. And Romo says it's been really exciting to be a part of this bullpen, and they're really proud in what they've been able to accomplish. But he also thinks this group really complements each other well. Dwayne?
Thank you very much. You're right about that. And that was the aim of the Rays when they went out, made the bullpen additions to build a deep and varied approach with different looks out of that bullpen. And there's a ground ball. Cishek can't find it. And Donaldson is going to reach. Cishek down to field it. And it rolled right up his arm and behind him. And he could not find it.
It was just a little half swing. By Donaldson. That breaking ball. And that ball comes up on him, bounces free, and by the time he finds it, it is too late. Very unfortunate. Here, the ball not hit hard. It just takes a wacky bounce.
And there's a base runner for Toronto with Justin Smoke stepping in, and before Cishek faces him, Jim Hickey heads to the mound.
Well, this bullpen has been throwing the ball lately well, since the trades were made around the deadline. And the problem is they just haven't had too many leads to be able to protect. Got one here tonight.
Well, the Rays talk it over. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Jake Faria is going to make the start. We'll hear from him, and Doug Wechter will break down Marcus Stroman for Toronto. We'll be with you at 6:30 tomorrow. Donaldson got credit for a hit on that comebacker to Cishek. Now Justin Smoke fouls it out of play. Strike one. Smoke singled in the fifth. Rays have the shift on for him. And this one grabbed by Robertson out at second. Over to first. The Rays get the double play with Longoria in the middle of it. Hot shot, and Robertson made a nice pickup to start it. A 4-5-3 double play out of the shift, and the Rays will take that all night long. Rays up by 2. 6-4. We go to the 8th inning. The Rays trying to add to this lead. They'll find the right-hander Ryan Tepera on the hill. 4th pitcher of the night, making his 54th appearance.
And a nice season. 63 strikeouts, 59 and a third innings, a 188 opponent's average.
Evan Longoria goes for the first pitch, chops it down to third. Donaldson makes the throw on the run. Pitch, 1 out. Tepera not overpowering with what he loves to throw. He's got that cutter. He can turn the fastball loose. That straight fastball can sometimes get up into the mid-90s. And there's one at 94. 1-0. Estrada, Dermody, Barnes, and now Tepera. Upstairs, 3-0. Tepera up through the Toronto farm system. And Morrison goes for the fastball, fouling it. 3-1.
We see that more and more. Really, there are very few hitters, if any, that don't have the green light on the 3-0 count. And why wouldn't you turn guys loose? That's the way the game is built now, is to turn guys loose and let them try to launch. So 3-0, you think, oh, I'm going to get a fastball out over the plate. Let him take a rip. And that's what we see. No safe time to come out over the plate.
And now a full count.
Fastball there by Tepera gets him back.
You got Longoria on the ground ball. Now 3-2. A little piece of the fastball to foul it and stay alive. Look, Scott Ullman. Move that mask around. Take a little time, a moment or two, to collect his thoughts. There's a high fly ball back into right. Bautista will go to the track in front of the wall, and he makes the catch. All the way back and just in front of that fence in right field. Bautista caught that high fly ball off the bat of Morrison.
Familiar refrain in this series. Balls hit, towering fly balls hit that are coming agonizingly close to getting out and then not doing so. And that one of the closest to the bunch. Off the bat, you thought I had a chance. A couple feet short.
Steven Souza Jr. 1. Bear gets ahead with the cutter. Hey, that's a good pitch.
Throws it hard. He throws it hard, and you know he's got a good enough fastball that you have to make quick decisions.
1-1. Count. Two down against him in the 8th. Three and 1. Blue Jays have used him a lot out of their bullpen. Smith on deck. There's a drive back into center field. That has some carry. Pilar to the wall, and he makes the catch on this one. Suzu Jr. hitting it to the warning track and then some right up in front of the wall. Pilar with a little leap to that one to haul it in. So a couple of long shots, but still in the park. Rays up by 2. On Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Rays in Toronto tonight, looking to even the current series, dropping last night's game 2-1 and leading in this one 6-4. Tommy Hunter, pitcher number 3, and he's on here in the 8th inning to face Kendrys Morales, who against the starter Blake Snell was 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. First pitch popped to the left side, foul. Longoria is after it with room. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, Tommy Hunter on again for the Rays out of the bullpen, and he's been very good out of that bullpen over his last 21 appearances.
Yeah, this goes back a ways. The opponent's average 178. He's limiting base runners. The 5 walks and the whip there under 1. Allowed just 2 runs. I mean, you cannot argue with this. This right now, I think, is for Kevin Cash one of the most trusted members, if not the most trusted member of that bullpen. You start to think about Alex Colomé and Steve Cishek.
Yep.
Right now for Kevin Cash, those are your big 3, and that's who he hopes to end this game with.
First pitch, a strike on the outside corner to Pierce. It's 1-1. And a near miss there. See loading up on that outside edge. Action in the Toronto bullpen. Osuna, who closed out last night's game. Meza, the lefty. Ground ball foul. 33,718 here tonight. Three and 2. Ground ball stays down for Longoria. His throw to first in time to get Pierce. Pierce busting it down that line. This guy hustles. 2 gone.
Man, the Rays saw that last year.
Yep.
He was a member of the team, and he plays the game hard. He understands what's at stake here. At this point, the Toronto Blue Jays cannot afford to give any games away where they are in the standings, and so he's going to play hard all the way to the end, and that's how you should. I mean, he should be the norm as opposed to somebody that we've got to highlight.
Yep, right there with you. Fastball at 96 and a strike to Kevin Pillar. One and 1. Popper back of first. Duda near the stands and reaches in. He got it. Reaching across. Duda makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 8th inning. Boy, stayed with it. And it paid dividends. Grabbing out number 3 in the bottom of the 8th. On to the 9th. Rays up by 2. Coors timeless moment. Wilson Ramos, a couple of home runs in this series. One in the second inning last night, and a fourth inning home run tonight. And he came close to hitting another one last night, so he appears to be locked in. Our Coors Banquet highlight of the night. We go to the ninth. Tim Mesa making his major league debut. 25-year-old lefty coming on.
Has solid numbers down there in the minor leagues. More than a strikeout an inning. 325 earned run average.
And with the lefty on, our pinch a penny pinch hitter is going to be Peter Borges. 233 with 5 home runs. And the first pitch from Mesa is a fastball in for a strike. So Borges hits for Smith. Rays look to add a run or two if they can muster it. There's a liner foul out of play. Mesa out of Allentown, Pennsylvania.
A famous song about that town.
This one is down 1-2. He's been in the Toronto organization all the way through, starting in 2013.
That almost has to be like your intro song as a pitcher.
You would think, huh?
Right?
Yeah. And he strikes out Borges.
That was a filthy slider. I'll tell you that much.
He started with a fastball at 93.
Yeah.
And finishes with that slider. So an impressive debut.
87 miles an hour. Nice way to start it off with the strikeout.
Wilson Ramos, who's been on 3 times tonight with a walk, homer, and single. Officially 2 for 3. Balls, no strikes. Two and one. Mesa out of Millersville University. Behind Ramos, 3 and 1. Echeverria on deck. Hard hit and one hop past Refsnyder. Through into center. It's a 3-hit night for Ramos. So there's a base hit.
Boy, he went up and got that fastball and just that ball way up there, and he almost shoulder high. He rips it, and Refsnyder tried to make a difficult stab at that one hopper, not able to do it. And Wilson Ramos continues the hot hitting up here in Canada.
Yeah, that ball not only looked hot, it sounded hot off the bat. Echeverria tried to check. That's a strike. Echeverria doubled and scored a run in the 4th inning. Walked with the bases loaded in the 5th. The difference in this game, a walk to Echeverria forcing home a run, and a walk to Robertson forcing home a run. The Toronto bullpen has given up only 2 hits, no runs. The Rays got 6 runs, 10 hits off Estrada. Two and two. Estrada, Dermody, Barnes, Tepera, now Meza, Snell, Cishek, and Hunter for the Rays, with Colomé up in the bullpen. Two, and we're going to go full. Big cut and a foul ball back. Fastball up right there. Daniel Robertson on deck. Ball down to 3rd. Throw back to 2nd. One over to 1st is wide. Now Ramos forced at 2nd. Donaldson to Refsnyder. Echeverria aboard on a fielder's choice.
Donaldson trying to get a double play going, throwing that ball on the run a little bit wide over there to Refsnyder. It would not have mattered anyway. Echeverria hustling up the line was going to beat it out.
Daniel Robertson will bat. This is his 5th plate appearance of the night. And the fastball at 95.
How about that?
By him. Pretty good fastball right there. Singled and scored in the 3rd.
For traditional throwers coming out of the bullpen, that seems to be like the starting point. You've got to be there. You know, very rarely do you see a guy like Barnes who's low 90s with the changeup.
Yep.
I mean, everybody, you're typically either going to be a power guy with a power arm, or you're going to be a Cishek, a Darren O'Day, an Aaron Loop. You're going to have Sergio Roma. You're going to give different looks.
There's a hot shot by Barney into left center field. Echeverria's headed to 3rd. Into 2nd goes Robertson. And it's 2nd and 3rd for the Rays. Thought for a moment that Montoyo might push the envelope a little bit, as they had a little trouble corralling that hot shot. It's 2nd and 3rd now. And the Rays, with 2 outs, have a chance to add.
Boy, this ball was blistered. And you just wonder if it had some knuckling action as it went out there, the way that it got by Barney out at shortstop. And then the sliding attempt. But that ball got out there so fast you couldn't send him. It was hit too hard.
Yep. And Pierce made a nice recovery, sliding in over there and keeping that ball right there in front of him. So hard hit ball by Robertson. 2nd and 3rd. 2 outs, and here's Corey Dickerson. takes a strike in the upper part of the zone. Dickerson's single homer run in the 4th. Two now. On the way. With 2 outs, the Rays have put 2 men in scoring position. Mays to the lefty. And that's a little liner caught by Barney to retire the Rays. They lead 2. We got to the bottom of the 9th. Bottom 3 of the order due up. 2-run lead. Back in Toronto, where the Rays have out-hit Toronto 13-8 and lead 6-4. Lucas Duda gave the Rays a 2-1 lead with a 2-run home run in the 3rd. Wilson Ramos has also homered in this game. Josh Donaldson closed the gap in the 5th with a 3-run home run. And it's 6-4 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Nori will pinch hit for Rev Snyder to begin the inning. Alex Colomé on the hill. Peter Borges in center field. Colomé's first pitch is in there for a strike.
And I know that you've got to keep it 1 pitch at a time, and that's exactly what Colomé has to do to be successful. But you really want a clean inning here, because all of a sudden you go back around Bautista Donaldson. So you do not want to allow the Blue Jays even a base run. Keep those guys in the dugout or on the on-deck circle.
take the count to 1-2. Catcher Ullman is due next, but Carrera is already out on deck. Ezekiel Carrera. 1-2 the count to Aoki. You got a little bit of that one to stay alive. The Yankees have beaten the Mets. It's a 5-4 final. Foul back, still 1-2. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the Wednesday Showdown, driven by GMC. Jake Faria on the hill for the Rays against Marcus Stroman for Toronto. Our coverage begins at 6:30. So a matchup of two impressive young right-handers tomorrow night. And close but wide. Took that pitch for ball 2 after fouling off all those pitches out there. Now the 2-2. He got it. Struck him out. Big first out here, retiring the leadoff man. Aoki pinch hitting. And Colomé strikes him out.
He went up a little bit with the velocity. You see that swing right there. Aoki just blown away by that fastball. That registered 97. We don't often see Colomé in that range. Usually are in the 93, 94, 95, but that one he really jumped on, and that's out number 1.
Now Ezekiel Carrera pinch hitting for Ullman. And the first pitch he takes for a strike. Carrera 1 for 2 in his career against Colomé. That disappeared on him down there. 0-2. Look at that pitch. He's trying to close this one out. Snell and Estrada are the pitchers of record. Tapper foul. Colomé ahead in the count. And he gets him. Carrera out on strikes. 2 up and 2 down.
Another disappearing breaking ball. Colomé, watch him drive this pitch. Starts at middle of the plate and drives it right to the dirt. Blow a guy away with a fastball, then come with that nasty slider, and everything right now working for Colomé.
Well, the Rays trying to close it out, give Snell his first win of the year and his first win in the big leagues since last September on the 22nd against New York. And there's a little tap. Goins pinch hitting is tagged out by Colomé, and the Rays win this one. The Rays win it 6-4, their 60th win of the year, and they snap a 4-game losing streak by taking game 2 of this 4-game series in 3 hours and 14 minutes. Snell will get the win and a save to Colomé. For Brian Anderson and Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Rays Live, the postgame, is next, presented by W.B. Mason.